live from Roca and Martillo this evening as we wind down the last couple of weeks of the basketball season this weekend and next, and then it's off to conference tournament for the women. The men will not be in the conference tournament, but we got a lot to get to with them coming up in a little bit. Karen Aston joins us for the first segment today. Welcome to the show. I know this has not been the best week for you, but welcome anyway. And let's talk about the game. The Wichita State game was following that the other day, and you were behind, came back, and just couldn't finish it off there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some areas of the game that we're struggling in right now. It's kind of, it's silly not to talk about it and not to admit it. We're struggling in some areas that, some we can do something about, and some we can't. I don't think you can always control what the ball's on you, but I think that there's things that really kind of well. So I hope that we took a deep breath after getting back from the gym and improving more. I hope we took a deep breath and we were able to enjoy the last few games. We have 2 out of 3 home games left, and 2 out of 3 of our games are at home. Obviously Sunday being senior day, and I just think that we have to get back to playing really hard and competitive again. We have to try to get back to finding some kind of joy in playing the game. I don't know if it's pressure, I don't know if it's fatigue. I think sometimes you really can't put your finger on it, but I hope we can get back to just playing with some joy and playing below.
What happened with the game at North Texas? Because that one was that was not good.
No, it wasn't. You're not even getting around that. It was a good old-fashioned bucket. We've had a couple of those this year. One of them was UNLV at home. And I could say I thought South Florida maybe was, but I thought that the difference in the South Florida and the North Texas game was that we were able to rein in our defense. We were able to start turning them over. We actually gave ourselves a chance to get back in the game and win the game against South Florida. But we just weren't able to control the emotion and the tide that North Texas went against us up there on Tuesday night. We shot the ball incredibly well, maybe a little better than we shot it, and we just didn't feel the physicality. I think they just decided to try to bully us a little bit and try to really throw us off our gas. And when you play a game like that in the rest of the day, play like that, then you better respond where it's going to be a long.
7-8 in conference play, 6th seed right now. You probably need one more, I think, to stay there because there's some teams on your heels. But talk all about these next few games, especially Sunday with Memphis.
Yeah, no question. It really needs to grab on there. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what it is, but it will secure like 5 or 6 spot, which play, which would be tremendous. If we don't do that, then we are playing with some fire with different teams. I mean, even to the point that you don't want to talk about it, but Wichita State still needs to lose a game somewhere along the way if we don't win another one. If we win another one, then we're starting to talk about not playing until Wednesday, which would be great.
All right, we talk about this, I think, a lot the last couple of years, but this is the time of the year for a lot of the younger players where their seasons are ending. The high schools are getting ready for tournament this week, and
they're in. We have 2 signees that are in the 3rd round of the playoffs right now,
and then the guys are right behind them. So the season ends quite a bit earlier in high school, and you got to not only fight your way through this time of the year, but also figure out a way to get used to playing late in the year.
For sure, it's a long grind. I mean, these players show up in June. They train all summer long. They go home for it's really not even a complete week that they go home in August before they show back up here, and then now that's the whole grind of non-conference, all of that. And so for a freshman, and even sophomores, I think it's still you get a little bit of the glazed look in their eyes, and I think we have a little bit of that right now. And the tournament play usually rejuvenates you a little bit, which is what I'm hoping that we can see as we see the last week of season coming up.
All right. I heard you talking about one thing with Neil on the postgame the other night is that when the offense isn't there, you got to figure out a way to do better on defense to give yourself more opportunities offensively.
And Andy, we've been able to do that all year. I mean, we haven't been a great offensive team all year long. We've struggled shooting the basketball. We've
We've struggled some with turnovers. We've struggled with physicality. But the one thing that we've been able to somewhat hang our hat on has been our defense. And it's just kind of let us down the last couple of games. And so we've got to get back to that. We have to get back to trying to really, really buckle down, make life difficult, make shots difficult, and depend on, that side of the ball. Even more importantly, maybe get us in transition where we can get some easy baskets and get some confidence, because sometimes, especially with young teams, you lose your confidence, and then, you're trying to figure out how to get it back. And, getting it back sometimes is just, try to get back to being competitive, try to get easy baskets instead of making it more difficult and putting more pressure on yourself. So I hope that we can get back to that on Sunday. We're playing a very difficult team on Sunday, but we've got to get back to that.
It's sometimes hard for young players that were scorers in high school or junior college or at a younger age to take that scoring to the next level. It was easy against the inferior competition they play. Now they're playing against everybody that's as good or better than they are, and just getting their shots where they used to, that's an adjustment.
Yeah, it's a huge one, and I think the biggest adjustment comes in getting to the second half of conference play. When the first half, maybe they weren't focused on you, or maybe they didn't even know who you were, or didn't know your tendencies. And when you get into the second round of conference play and the back half, then everybody knows what gum everybody's chewing, and it becomes a real grind. And they know exactly how to take away whatever your strengths are. And you've got to be able to adjust to that. You have to be able to counter that. And we're struggling with that aspect of it when they expose us and take away what we do well. How do we get to the next step with that? And that's been a difficult challenge for us in this last half.
All right, Karen Aston with us out here. We're going to hear from Adriana Robles here coming up in the next segment, and we'll talk about the Memphis game and a few other things in the final segment. Stars of the Week, and as our military appreciation sponsor, we have a couple tonight, and the first one here is going to be Adriana Robles. We'll get to talk with her in just a minute, and we're going to get to know them each week during the Stars of the Week segment. Well, welcome to the show, Adriana, and take us through your season so far. What's it been like for you in your first year at UTSA?
First of all, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, anytime.
And I would say the season's going good so far. I was talking to Kay the other day, and it was like it's all a process and it's all a learning curve, and I feel like the coaches have done a good job of helping me throughout the journey and just learning and like film sessions, extra workouts, and all that stuff, and like making sure that I know what I need to do each and every single day, and I think that's super important.
Take us through some of the things you've learned. What do you know now that you didn't when the season started?
I think I didn't fully understand that anybody could win any night, any given night. It doesn't matter if you're the best team in the conference. It doesn't matter. We need to come out every single day ready to play. And every day at practice, we have the same mentality and just be ready to practice every single day.
Karen, talk about having her on the roster and what you saw in her when you recruited her and how that's worked out here in this season.
Yeah, I mean, what you look for in recruiting is, you know, you look for, in particular, the point guard position. You're looking for someone that you think can play your style. I really like point guards that can create. I like point guards that have like a personality and an energy about them. I think that she has all of that. You know, it's hard sometimes, and I know, you know, she'll be able to reflect back on this and feel completely different when she can digest all of it. But it's a lot for a point guard to digest everything that has to happen throughout a season as a freshman, and I think she's done a remarkable job. She can't see that right now and probably doesn't think I feel that way right now, but I know what that job entails. And for her to partially be a starter, she started several games this year and has really, really competed at a really high level. You know, what I'm excited to see is where she takes all the information that she's gotten this year about what it takes at this level and what she does with that this summer and what she looks like when we get back to school. And again, I'm not trying to fast forward to next year, but anytime that you have a freshman that got to play the type of minutes that she did this year, there's going to be a really huge curve of learning.
That's what I was going to ask you, Adriana, is that you're playing 26 minutes a game.
Yeah.
You're amongst the leaders in minutes played on the team. So as a freshman, that's got to...
She probably doesn't even know that. Look at her
Yeah,
face.
I had no idea.
the coaches have to have some trust in you to put you out there for that long.
Yeah, and I think that says a lot about Kay. She really trusts in her team and like her team and stuff like that, and she has confidence in us. So I just go out there, have fun, and compete the best I can.
Take us through your basketball career. When did you first pick up a basketball? What got you excited about the sport?
I remember in second grade, and I started because of my dad. He introduced basketball to me because he played it like when he was little kid too.
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing basketball. I started playing with like boys, and then once I moved to the States, I started playing the YMCA, and then I started loving basketball, but I didn't take it seriously until like I'd say middle school, and that's when I actually started like putting extra work and just learning from people, and I feel like I've had a lot of fun and I've learned so much.
Take us through when the light bulb goes on. Hey, I'm pretty good at this. I can take this to the next level. If I got to put in some work, but I've got the fundamentals to do it. When did that click for you?
I think that clicked when I was around 15. I didn't realize that I had potential and that I was actually good, if I'm being honest, until I got invited to play with the national team. I feel like that gave me confidence, and I feel like it was a blessing. And it really showed that when you work hard and when you do things when no one's watching, I feel like it always pays off.
All right, so...
I think that's one thing that's super exciting about her also is that she's involved in the Puerto Rican national system.
Yes.
So her ability to probably go and play some international ball in the summer I think is going to really, really help her expand her game. And, you know, like she's going to be able to take some things from that and some things from what she's learning here. And it's a special opportunity for her.
And when you play in those league games, you're playing against really good competition, so that kind of iron sharpen irons mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, I've played against some really good players. Like I can name Joyce Edwards. I've played against her. I played some really Jay-Z Davidson. She's a freshman too, plays at USC. So I've played against really good competition, and I mean I'm not scared of the competition. Like I'm ready to play anytime. But it's definitely fun playing against those people.
Well, that's point guard mentality right there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, what are you doing in the classroom? What are you studying? What do you want to do someday when basketball's over?
She's terrible in the classroom.
Wow.
I don't think she's made a B yet. I'll put it that way.
That's a hard thing to do right there.
Right now, my major is kinesiology. I want to be a physical therapist. As of right now, that's what I want to do, and I want to stay in the sports area. But we'll see wherever the wind takes me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you got Memphis coming up on Sunday afternoon. You kind of owe them one. You had a tough game in Memphis earlier in the year.
Yeah, we sure did, but I feel like everybody's ready to bounce back. Everybody's mad that we lost them, that we shouldn't have lost. And I feel like we're going to have a lot of people in the game, so I feel like that's going to help us with the energy and stuff like that. But we're all ready, and we all know that we're capable of being on the same page and beating Memphis.
Awesome. Thanks for coming out. Great job. I look forward to seeing you again down the road, and all the best as you go through the rest of the season.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. That's Adriana Robles, one of UTSA's players, and the Roadrunners will be in action with her coming up this weekend when they take on Memphis on Sunday afternoon. at 3 o'clock in the Convo against Memphis. 2:30 is the airtime on 93.3 The Bull with Neil. And Memphis is coming to the Convo. You lost to them in Tennessee back in January. You had to move that game up a day. It was kind of cold there, but you got them coming to San Antonio. Talk about the Tigers.
Yeah, we do. I mean, they're an interesting team because they're really, really talented. And they just haven't they did beat ECU last night, which was an upset. But when you watch them play, you're just like, man, they're scary, they're talented, they are long and athletic and can really turn you over. And their record is just incredibly deceiving, to be honest with you. I mean, they are from a talent perspective and the things that they can do to you. You would think they were a top half team. If you didn't know anything, you would look at them and think they were a top half team.
When you play a team like that that's in the bottom, they're sometimes the most dangerous. They're winding down their season.
Yeah, and they're still not out of. Yeah, they're not mathematically out yet, and so that's a scary thing.
All right, so what do they do best? What do you have to pay attention to?
They create havoc. They play kind of almost like with reckless abandon defensively. So they're very physical. They play passing lanes. They're trying to turn you over and make you play sporadic, make you speed up, and that's really what they do best. I mean, they get out in the open court. We just have to have a lot of composure.
What do you think you're doing well right now that you can go to practice and build on and say, we got to keep doing this while we work on the other things that you're not doing as well?
Yeah, I would say up until the North Texas game, I mean, we were really, I thought that we were handling movement, ball movement. I thought we were moving the ball better, playing kind of inside out. Maybe, when you get into the second half of conference play, you have to get the ball to the other side. Nobody's going to let you score off your first pass, and they're going to take away what you do best, which has been some of our transition game. But, we got to get it to the other side, and so that's been a struggle for this team because of our youth. I thought we were doing a better job with that. We've got to get back to that, specifically against Memphis. If you get it to the other side, you may have something available. And then we have to get back to defending. We've got to get back to having some pride on the defensive end because I thought we were doing that really well. I mean, if you look at the stats, we were really good at it, and we haven't guarded in the last two games, and we have to get back to that.
Defense, a lot of times, is attitude and want to, and just – I talked about this a lot, deflecting passes, disrupting the other team's offense, making them take shots they don't want to take.
No question. I mean, that's the whole, basis of defense, in my opinion, is make somebody do something they don't really want to do until they get tired of it. Mm-hmm. Deflections are a big stat for us. And when we're really good, we have 7 to 9 kills in a game. We have 25 deflections. And when we're not very good, we have 3 kills and 12 deflections. So it's really telling. I mean, if you look at how we play when we're full of energy and when we're really connected defensively, it shows up on the stat sheet.
Talk about the importance of, especially this time of this year, creating turnovers and limiting yours.
Yes, I mean, it's not even as much about we don't create a ton of turnovers with our defense. We make people take really hard shots. And that's what we've not been able to do lately. We've been giving up a lot of layups. We've been giving up threes, not necessarily playing team defense, and we have to get back to that because when we make people take hard shots, we rebound well, and that gets us out in transition. But, yeah, to your point, we definitely have to get out of the live ball turnover problem we have had the last 2 games.
Because those live ball turnovers then lead to transition baskets, and trying to guard anybody in transition, even if you're good at it, is sometimes difficult.
It is very difficult. North Texas had 21 points at half on us off of turnovers. So we have to – it's the key to the game against Memphis. We can't just give them a bunch of runouts and energy, and confidence by turning the ball over.
All right, well, find a way to win.
We will.
Another one and get ready for the conference here in a week or so.
We will. Senior Day Sunday. I'm looking forward to honoring Ariana and Cheyenne. I mean, they've had great senior years, and I hope everybody will come out and cheer them on and send them off in a good manner.
Senior day is always emotional because you give them the jersey, you hug their parents, and then you got to go play a game.
I know, and in that situation, Cheyenne's parents don't come very often, so it's either she's going to play out of her head or it's going to be super emotional. I don't know which one. You never know.
Out of her head.
I do too. We need her too.
Thanks, Karen.
Thank you.
All right, that's Karen Aston with us. Austin Claunch joins us on the program. Last night, UTSA lost a heartbreaking game to East Carolina by 1. And those, Austin, are always the hardest. You fight all game, and it comes down to the last 3 or 4 seconds of the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever had one like that. That was just, 6 guys that just really gutted it out. Bob gets his 4th foul in the 16-minute mark. Brent's been out for like 30 seconds. I think he was getting his ankle taped. I started yelling. I said, Brent, and just incredible fight and guts, and really, really proud. They deserve. I mean, that would have been. It'd be hard for me to think I'd have a better win here since I've been here than that one would have been, with all the circumstances. And they executed perfectly, and we just got to make one more play. We got to come down with that rebound.
Yeah, that rebound, and I didn't see the replay, but just recollecting from what I saw in live, when you're having a bad year, bad things happen. That ball not only went long, it went to the right. It went the only place it could where Gardner could get it and take a step back. And it wasn't like you were trying to even defend the plate. It's just traffic was in the way when the foul occurred.
Yeah, and that's that kind of age-old question, right? I've always kind of been a foul up 3 guy. I've done both. I've never seen that happen before. And it's when you kind of pause it and freeze frame it. I mean, Dorian stepped in like he was supposed to in front of the shooter. Mateo and Jameer are sort of right there. I mean, we got 3 guys right around it, and it's just it's unlucky, and we've obviously had a lot of those moments this year, unfortunately, and doesn't take away from obviously their fight and their progress and their effort. One of the best, offensive games we played all year. We're playing really well on that side of the ball right now, and I'm excited to continue to make these strides. Hopefully, get a couple of guys back for Sunday. But man, those 6 guys that played last night, I couldn't be more proud.
So let's talk about Dorian and Jameer. Both played 40 minutes. Dorian first, and I know he says he's okay. I think we all know that shoulder's hurting, and he's just gotten through it. And you had to have him out there for the entire game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought obviously the made shots, the 40 minutes. I think what says a lot about Dorian and Jameer. Jameer was the first one, I think, early on in the game. There's a loose ball in the backcourt, and he runs 40 feet and dives on the floor for it. First play of the second half, Brent gets a deflection. Dorian dives on the floor, saves it to someone. We kick it ahead to Brent. Brent dunks it, right? And I just think the effort from all 6, and of course, like you mentioned, Dorian, who played 40 minutes, just the effort that these guys are showing, I think, shows that they don't just still believe, but they care about what we're doing and they care about UTSA.
And it's not like he's just out there. He's setting screens. He's fighting through screens, playing good defense, all of those things as part of Dorian's game.
Yeah, he's really continued to grow throughout the course of the year. You're seeing him do a little bit more off the bounce. We know he can shoot. Saw him make a couple of plays at the rim, go and get fouled, and then continuing to grow into his voice as a young player. He's obviously somebody we're really excited about.
And then Jameer's been the quintessential senior leader all year long. A lot of times by example, but he's out there for as long as you need him and whatever you need him to do.
Well, what an incredible game he played last night. He's the guy right now with the injuries that we've had. He's played out of position. We've asked him to, be our primary facilitator and score 20, guard the best player. We've asked all these guys to do a lot, but especially Jameer. And to have 10 assists in that game last night, make the free throws, in crunch time, and listen, I hurt for Jameer after that one last night, man, and all these guys, just because of how much they gave and at how well they played.
And he went inside on the one play where he got the dunk, switched hands. Then I was expecting a left-hand floater, and then all of a sudden the right-hand hammer came.
Yeah, it happens like once every 3 weeks with Jameer. All of a sudden the old man takes off and gets somebody. No, he's still got some bounce left in those legs, and I'm fired up to keep going here for the next week and a half.
A lot of times your offense starts with Bob, or the last night when Bob was in foul trouble, Brent, kind of a point forward situation. It doesn't take long to get it to the guards, but what's the thought process and the method of the madness of having the bigger guy start the offense?
Well, with obviously all the injuries we've had to all of the point guards on the roster, Bob has got an organic feel to get guys involved. So when you have guys like Brent, Dorian, and Jameer, who in their own right are able to get guys involved, I think it's good to have someone out there that just kind of naturally thinks that way. So when you've got Bob with those three around him and then a guy like Daniel Akatobi, it makes for a really good blend with Mateo Kofi as well. Those six can make up a really good blend of offense.
Awesome. All right, we're going to hear from Brent Moss coming up in the next segment. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance members, you get 2 free.
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. So take us through it from a player perspective. I know that you've had some ups and downs this year, a lot of downs, but games like last night just have to really kind of stink a little bit more than the rest of them, don't they?
Yeah, for sure.
Take us through that feeling and kind of what happened from your perspective on that last few plays of the game.
Man, I just think it was just unlucky, man. I think we played a good game. We was in a position where we wanted to be at. Called the plays, everything go well, and sometimes it just don't go your way.
The thing I'm most impressed about this team, and especially in the last 2 or 3 weeks after the elimination from postseason, Aston talked about it earlier. You guys are diving on the floor for loose balls. You're still competing. You're still fighting for games. Take us through that mindset that this team has, and never say never when it comes to competing against the other team.
Man, I just think us individually, we're just competitors. Like we wanna win every game we step out there. Like we never wanted to lose this many games we lost this season, and we really think we could win every game we go into. It just didn't go in our favor this year, and we're still here competing, ready to win the next one.
All right, so I've noticed the last few games, a lot of plays have either come to you or been run for you early in the game to get your shot going, and you've knocked down some big shots just to get the rhythm going. Talk about that and the confidence it had, and then it wasn't too long ago in South Florida where you had the 32-point night, so that was pretty fun to watch.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's just a lot of work I've been putting in, and that's finally coming to the big stage. It's countless hours I put in, been waiting for moments like this, and they're starting to drop, and the coach seeing that, so plays running through me sometimes.
Do you enjoy the grind of practice?
For sure. I enjoy the grind of practice.
What is that like, and not only the practice that you do with the team, but the stuff that you do on your own, the individual shooting?
I definitely enjoy that because as a kid growing up or as a player, you want success in whatever you do. And to get that, you got to put the work in. And just realizing that growing up, I just know I had to put the hours in. And you got to work out with the team, so you got to put it in with your team too.
Austin, talk about Brent. He's been a big part of the offense this year, plays good defense too. So your thoughts on what he's accomplished so far this year?
Well, I think you guys just touched on it. It's his work ethic. You know, that's why his trajectory as a player has gone the way it's gone. This is a guy that started playing basketball 6 years ago. I mean, whatever it was, like for real. And that's why you've just seen him go like this, because of the work he puts in, the belief he has in himself. But it's more than belief too. It's, you know, he justifies that with how he approaches his game, his habits. He's about the right things on and off the court. And we're really lucky that this is a guy that represents our athletic department as a whole, not just our men's basketball team.
So when was it? What was the light bulb that came on to make you pick up basketball and make it your full-time sport, I guess?
Well, I was a baseball player growing up, and I thought I was going to play baseball. I started growing, and I always liked the basketball more, but I wasn't really good enough. I didn't work on it as much. Then I started getting taller, and I realized all you got to do is put the work in to get better. And then I started doing that. I started seeing progress, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to play basketball.
So what position did you play in baseball? How good were you in that sport?
I was really good, actually. I played first base, and I was about to enter the minor leagues, and I just stopped because basketball was better for me.
So you like basketball more.
Yeah.
So do you have a baseball future if basketball doesn't work out? Can you go back and play some baseball?
Nah, I can't. I can't do that. Like a Jordan.
He's too good at basketball. Yeah. I think he's gonna stick with that.
Yeah, you're pretty good at basketball, so but you could always fall back on the baseball, I guess.
No,
what was it about basketball that made you like it more? What was the intriguing factor there?
I don't know. It just feel like it's a competition every possession, like in terms of guarding, and then you got to flip it on the other end. You just scoring, defense, rebound, like everything feel like you're just competing with a person. And I just love to compete, so it's better than baseball for me.
Take us through the recruiting process. What made you choose UTSA and be a part of this team?
I totally choose UTSA because, like, the coaching and the way, like, the style of play they like to play, it just fit my game so well. I just feel like the more time we put in with it, and which we have been, it's just going to fall into place.
All right, so you got Wichita State coming up this weekend, another chance to get a win, and then the following week against Rice. So talk us through the mindset of this team, trying to get one or two more.
Yeah, our mindset right now is on Wichita State. Like, it was a tough loss last night, but we got to get over it to get a dub. So our mindset is on the next, and then when the Rice time comes, we'll be ready for us.
This is a grudge match for him too.
Okay.
JUCO teammate national champion also plays for Wichita, so you know we got to.
Who's that?
Drake Kendall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys were together on a JUCO national championship team.
Yeah, I actually met him after high school, and then we went to JUCO, and we won the title and played again when Sweet 16. Now we're here.
All right, so now you got a one-on-one matchup with him coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Brent, thanks so much. All the success in the world. Glad you're playing well, and keep shooting straight.
Thank you.
All right, that's Brent Moss. UTSA Basketball Radio Show is out here every week. Next week we're on Tuesday night. It's hosted by Chef Jason Davies, Roca and Martilla at the Rocket Lock and Terra. Thank Adriana Robles for being out here earlier, and for Brent Moss as well. Austin's going to go to an event this evening. In our last segment, we're going to introduce you to Jacob Klee. He is the Director of Operations, and explain to you what the importance of this job. And I always say, Jacob, you're the one that makes sure we get to where we're going, and sometimes, along with you and Tyler, make sure we get fed.
Absolutely. I always tell people that my job is to make it so that, everyone that we travel with and all our players, our staff, that they just have to focus on the game and don't have to worry about food, travel, anything like that. And so I just try to make it as smooth as possible.
All right, so the season, we finally get an actual schedule from the conference. Generally in late September, early October, maybe late September these days. And you already know the non-conference, maybe a few dates here and there, but then it's crunch time to book hotels, book flights, book buses, all that kind of stuff. Take us through that process.
Absolutely. So, we're very fortunate. We have an awesome travel agent named Carly, and she really helps us get all the flight options, hotel options, bus options, and then from there, sit down with the staff and kind of see what makes best sense in terms of times and prices and whatnot. So it seems like a mad dash once you get the schedule, because there's only so much time before the season comes. But just fortunate that I have a lot of support throughout the university with our staff and people on the business side to help make that process as smooth as possible.
So talk about the bus part, because it has never happened with you or even previous DOBs here at UTSA, but the last thing you want is to be at the airport and no bus.
No, absolutely not. And for me, I'm a big over communicator, and so every day before we leave, the day before a trip, I'll always text the bus driver and just confirm that everything's good. And then whether we leave that morning or we have a flight, I'll text them that morning as well. So I think for me, the biggest thing is just that over communication part. And obviously, while you're in the air, you just got to hope that when you land, they're there. But I think when you communicate with them ahead of time, you're usually pretty good. So
how did you get involved in this? Because a lot of times, director of basketball, people want to become coaches, and this is kind of the starting point for that. We talked earlier in the year, you like what you're doing here. How did you get involved with this and into the sports career?
Absolutely. I think I'm one of the few director of operations that probably doesn't want to get onto the coaching side. I really enjoy being a director of operations, and something I want to continue to do. For me, I was fortunate enough to be a student manager for the University of Miami men's basketball team, and learn under, obviously, Coach L, who's a legend in the game, but a lot of great director of operations. And from that, I kind of knew that that's something I wanted to do long term. I was fortunate enough to be a graduate assistant at the University of Missouri, Kansas City for 2 years, and then after that was an assistant coach for a year at a Division III school, and had the really special opportunity the past 2 years to go back to the University of Miami as the assistant director of operations, and just being there and throughout the whole journey. I've always loved the behind the scenes, the making sure everything's organized, and helping out with travel and all the logistics part of it. And so it's just something I kind of knew I wanted to do since I was a manager.
They made it a rule a few years ago where that position could also be involved somewhat more in the coaching aspect of it. But take us through your role on game day, because you're behind the bench. What are you making sure is communicated?
Yeah, absolutely. So game day starts early. Obviously, we have shoot around and we'll watch film and stuff like that. But during the game, I'm in charge of our film. So all challenges and stuff like that, I have the computer in front of me, and if there's something I see on the computer that I think that we should take a look at, we can challenge, whether we can get an extra possession or they call it goaltend.
You got one last night.
Just trying to help out however I can. So during the games, it's a lot of that and a lot of the film stuff, but also there's a lot of preparation that goes in beforehand and afterhand as well.
All right, and then you and Tyler, our strength and conditioning coach, are ones that are responsible for the meal service on the road. And I think a lot more attention has been paid to this over the years. We now have a dietitian on campus for football, but other sports as well, to make sure that the athletes are properly nourished before they go play. Absolutely.
I think it's such a big aspect of it, especially with all the studies and that have shown how important nutrition is. So I think, for us, Tyler and I think we work really well together, and just a big emphasis for us is just on finding stuff, obviously, that the guys will enjoy, but that will help them, fuel them, and get them ready to go for games, practices. It's such a long season and such quick turnaround time that their nutrition and their health is so important.
So we go to Houston next Sunday, and everybody wants to know, are we stopping at Buc-ee's, going or coming or both?
Both, and especially after that win, hopefully we'll definitely stop there, and everyone will be happy. So we're looking forward to stopping at Buc-ee's for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, and we'll continued success here and into the future. And thanks for spending a few minutes with us here tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andy. I appreciate you guys having me.
All right. That's Jacob Lee, Director of Operations, Basketball Operations for UTSA Basketball. And the Roadrunners have a big matchup coming this weekend when they take on on Wichita State. So we got a doubleheader on Sunday. The women play at 3, tip at 3 on the air at 2:30 on 93.3 The Bull. And the men play at 7, 6:30 on Ticket 760 on Sunday evening. I cannot remember the last time we played a Sunday evening game in the Convo, but we're there on Sunday night. So hope to